Brandon Benefield, Gerard Bonner, and Diana Michelle.
What is going on, everybody? It's that time of the week. It's Friday. You know what that means. It's time for the SHW podcast. This is our wrestling B-double Brandon Benefield, GB Gerard Bonner, the lovely Diana Michelle. The entire band is back together once again. How we doing?
We missed you last week, Boo-Boo.
I missed you guys. Took a little R&R, and yeah, you know, we got to do that every now and again, but it is so good to be back.
Yes.
Just in time for SHW40.
It's finally here.
Lord. It is finally here. And yeah, I think we needed that extra week to digest all that's happened and prepare ourselves for next week.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm always excited when the next show gets here. However, this month has been a little weird coming off of what happened at the end of the last show. Everything's just felt a little funny. You know?
Yeah. Which, by the way, of course, you guys can all watch it now on IWTV. It's there, and
it's amazing.
I gotta tell you, you know, we obviously live these shows, but even for us, going back, we're always anxious to go back and watch it because we want to see how things turned out. We want to hear how we sound. We want to just kind of really capture that entire experience. And I gotta tell you, what a show!
Man,
what a show!
Man.
Wow.
What an opening! What an opening reel!
Yes, the opening reel, the closing reel. I mean, like everything, start to finish, was special. So go back and watch it on IWTV. Well, not this second, but after the podcast is over.
Right. Yeah. Watch this first.
Right.
I'm gonna make it short, so you'll have plenty of time.
Yeah. Watch this and go watch that.
And here's the thing, because what we're going to do tonight is give you the preview of the match card heading into SHW40, which is next Friday, June 10th. And what you're going to want to do is, like GB said, catch up on IWTV, see what all you missed, so you'll be ready to join us next Friday at the Action Building in Canton, Georgia, 261 Marietta Road, and bring out all your friends, all your family, have a good time. Although, now that I think back about it, you know, we had Gunnar Miller on the show last week, and he was, you know, talking about the death match that he's going to be having with Tank, and he even said, I don't know, maybe leave the kids at home. I don't want to dissuade you from your whole family, because
I think he was talking more about leaving his kid because he didn't want him to.
Here's the thing. Maybe rumor has it, and according to the graphic, it says the death match is going to be the main event, I believe. So,
oh wow,
maybe you stay for the show and then cover your kids' eyes for the main event or something. I don't know.
Wow.
We'll
see. I mean,
that speaks volumes.
Yeah.
Say it, Diana. I see it on your face. Yeah. Say it. Say it.
Yeah. So normally at most shows, and even it doesn't matter the promotion, but most of the time, the title match would usually be the main event. I have a feeling that's where you're going, Diana. However, in this case, and maybe it will be, but I'm just saying, according to the graphics that I saw posted throughout the last couple of weeks, the one that said the death match that had Tank and Gunnar said main event death match. I'm just saying that's what it said.
Well, that would make sense because usually a death match is pretty gross and bloody and messy.
And it's one of those things like, how are you going to follow it? You know, like
true.
I don't know.
True.
By anybody.
Anyways, well, let's since we're talking about this one, we've got like 6, 7, 8 matches to talk about. Let's go ahead and talk about this death match. We talked a lot about it last week because, of course, Gunnar Miller was our guest, and if you didn't see that episode,
great show.
Yeah, if you didn't see it, go back and watch it or listen to it. And GB, we wish you were here because he's one of those that's like a great interview because you just wind him up, you ask him one question, and he'll have a 10-minute answer, you know.
Wow.
And he runs his own podcast as well, Chat with Gunnar, and so he does what we do a lot, which is interview other people. So he's very good at that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Totally asked questions before they were answered. It was just like, oh.
Well, so yeah, he would get done with like this 10-minute long answer, and Diana and I are going, well, I had like 5 questions here, but he already answered them all.
Right.
So now what do we ask? But I know GB would have been right in there with another good one, you know?
Another angle, right?
It worked out though. It was fun. It was a good interview. Of course, if you did watch it, you noticed towards the end there we had a little technical difficulties. He was in the car, so once you get moving and we're on Zoom, it's a whole thing. But anyways, we did get a good most, I don't know, about 45 minutes to an hour long interview
solid.
there. So it was
really
good. But go back and check that out. But anyways, back to the match next month, or next week, rather. SHW40 is going to be a death match where Gunnar Miller shocked us all by challenging Tank to his specialty, to Tank's specialty, which is a death match. I mean, Gunnar tried to explain himself last week, but I still think he's crazy. Like, I don't know. What do you guys think?
I mean, he said he was planning on doing like a real death match. Like he's going to pay respects to the old school death match, not the new school, but the old school death matches. And he's been studying tape, and he's been, getting his wheels turning. So I don't know. I mean, I'm expecting a really good challenge for the Deathmatch King. I mean, I really am. I think he's going to bring it, and it's going to be shocking that what he's willing to put himself through in such a grueling match.
Yeah. To that end, as I saw that interview last week, I thought to myself, it is dangerous when Gunnar is studying Terry Funk and Mick Foley.
Right.
That's dangerous. What those guys did in terms of putting their bodies on the line, their willingness to sacrifice themselves, and they were, to me, more dangerous than, the new light tubes and all the little silly stuff that's happening now. No knock to those folks. Here's the thing that's so unpredictable about a death match is it's not an issue of skill, right? This isn't in-ring skill. It's not catch as catch can. It's really who's going to be sicker, basically, and who's willing to sacrifice more.
Yeah.
Where I think Gunnar may actually have an advantage here is because he doesn't do this often, he's really focused on nailing this, and he's not like going to hold anything back. As opposed to Tank, this is what he does all the time. So, when you do it, you're often familiar with it, and you don't approach it like somebody who's going to really study and put their best foot forward. So I think if Tank isn't careful, he might be actually being lulled into a false sense of security because Gunnar is not planning on doing this again. So Gunnar doesn't have to save, his death match ideas for the next time around. According to Gunnar, there's not going to be a next time around, which is why you need to be there. Because there are very few things in the world of pro wrestling that only happen once, for real. This is that. And I think Gunnar's going to show us a side of himself that we have never seen before.
It's definitely got me intrigued. And, I said it last week, and we've talked about this off air before, but like, I'll be the first to admit, and even Gunnar admits, deathmatch is not necessarily his cup of tea, and it's not mine either. No shade to anybody that's a big fan of that stuff, because there is a fan base for it. It's just not something I'm into. However, this particular match has me intrigued because it's Gunnar, and because I know that this isn't his style, yet he was the one willing to call Tank out and put this stipulation in place to make this a death match. So yeah, it's like you said, like whether it's how sick they are, just how much further they're willing to go than the other guy. We'll find out next Friday, but yeah, it's going to be interesting.
I'm actually ready to see the old school death match that come back.
Yeah.
If that's what he's planning to do. I mean, I would like to see him bring some of that back in.
There's a mentality that's there that's different. And let's not forget, this is the same guy who retired Corey Hollis.
Yeah.
And that was a brutal match by itself.
That was exactly. It was a brutal match. We didn't expect him to go as far as he was willing to go. So how much further will he push it? We'll find out next week.
Yeah. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Now, we've got here's the thing. This card, mostly, look, the card looks awesome. I don't want to downplay anything because I want to encourage everybody to come out because
it's a great card.
Be a great card. You're not going to want to miss it. Here's another match though that I'm really excited about that just got I think maybe yesterday got announced or maybe earlier today, whenever it was. But I'm very excited. Didn't expect this, but it's Nagicism and Rob Killjoy, who you may remember from the Ugly Ducklings. Now the Ugly Ducklings, I think the last time they were at SHW might have been SHW1000, which is when we kind of had that AEW invasion. And that might have been the last time. That's 2019. It's been a while since we've seen Rob Killjoy. Of course, we saw Nagicism just a couple of months ago, I believe it was.
Yes.
But here's the thing. Here's a little twist to this match. What I found out was that Brooklyn, over the next 2 shows, is going to be putting Rumblejack qualifier matches in place. Because as you
Oh.
know, the Rumblejack 2022 is coming up in August. It's our big annual event where we have 30 or more competitors in the ring. The last 2, they get surrounded by all the prior eliminations as lumberjacks, and then the winner ends up getting a title shot. So always look forward to the Rumblejack. And it kind of slipped my mind that, oh, yeah, we're like 2 months away here. And then I see this match. We got a Rumblejack qualifier, and you got Nagicism and Rob Killjoy. So we know how awesome Nagicism was from the last time we saw him. And, of course, Rob Killjoy goes way back. You know, he's been around for a long time, as does Nagicism. But both of these guys, very, very talented. I think it's going to be a bit of a clash of styles between these two. So I'm very excited to see it. It's cool to have a member of the Ugly Ducklings back in the action building. And, of course, always going to be good to have Nagicism come back. So I'm excited for this matchup.
I wonder if he's bringing Coach Mike with him. That is always fun.
It's a good point.
It's always fun. But, yes, both guys are very agile and very athletic and just all over the place. I mean, you ever seen a crazy duck just whop everywhere?
What was it? What did they do?
Whop. I'm sorry. Quack, quack. Whatever it is I do.
No, I liked what you did the first time.
By the way, for the people that are just listening to the audio version of this, you owe it to yourself to go back and watch the video version.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Just
Just
to
leave
see
the audio.
Diana.
You don't need to see
Totally.
me flapping my little hands like a wing is whatever. Either way, I love Rob Killjoy. I think he's awesome. He was one of my first that I've ever interviewed, and he was always fun. Always fun. Always fun.
In
Always
fact,
fun.
if I'm not mistaken, you got to wear the duck mask at one point, didn't you, Diana?
I didn't get to wear the duck mask. I was made to wear the duck mask
It was put on you.
upon my head like a crown, and it was, man.
It was
I'm
sweaty?
gonna let him keep that.
And smelled like ducks?
Can you imagine what it? Yeah. I'm gonna let him keep that. So I'm gonna declined any kind of But Nagicism, he had an awesome match last month? Was it last
2 months ago.
2 shows ago.
2 months ago?
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. High flying.
Yes. I see what you did there. So I will say this. I know that some have already given our new booker a rough way to go based on her first act or second act, depending upon how you look at it. But I have to give her due, because this match is a great potential match. And the idea of qualifiers to get into the Rumblejack, I like it. Let's acknowledge the Rumblejack is one of the most prestigious events in all of independent wrestling. Certainly, it's a major moment for us as it leads us into our anniversary show, Still Here For. Wow. And so this is a big deal. And what a great opportunity to give both Rob Killjoy and Nagicism. I mean, we were super impressed with Nagicism when we saw him a couple of months ago against Carly Bravo. Rob Killjoy, his history has already been talked about. So I love this idea, the idea that you can get 2 guys who are not currently on the roster. They can battle each other for an opportunity to be a part of Rumblejack and ultimately could get a shot at the SHW championship. I like this. This is good. This is very good. And so hopefully we can get more folks to do that, and they can see that, like a couple of years ago, some folks campaigned to get in. Now you can actually fight your way to get in. I like it. Shout out to Brooklyn.
Yeah. And you just mentioned a certain somebody campaigning to get in a couple of years ago, and look how far he's come in
what
those
a difference
2 years.
2 year makes. Holy cow.
Of course, we don't know who we're talking about. We're referring to one half of the current tag team champions, Hold My Beer Hansen, half of All-Star Special. And since you brought that name up, let's go ahead and get into that match. We have a tag title match. And here's the thing. I don't want to make too much of a habit of complimenting Brooklyn at this point. However, like you said, that's a great point. That's a great match she made for the Rumblejack qualifier. And this was also, I got to admit, a great match that she made in finally getting a rematch for technical excellence for the tag team title. So, of course, when All-Star Special won the belts unfortunately, Chip Day went down with an injury and had to be taken out mid-match, leaving Kyle to defend by himself, which he insisted on doing. And so we saw the outcome. All-Star Special won the titles. They had a successful defense last month against TSF in a great match. And now we're going to get this rematch between the former champs, Tech X, Kyle Matthews, Chip Day, who are healthy at this point. And fingers crossed, let's keep it that way. And then we'll have they'll finally get the rematch next Friday against All-Star Special. So now that everybody's 100%, I'm very excited to see this matchup the way it was supposed to be the first time.
Yes, I'm totally, yes. This is the rematch. I introduced the championship match as the match we've been waiting for because we wanted that. This rematch is definitely going to be something. For Tech X to come back and attempt to regain their titles, and for the opportunity for All-Star Special to redeem themselves from feeling like they really didn't win like they wanted to win.
Yeah. Now's
their chance to really show what they can do and show that they are the rightful champions. And for Tech X, like I said, I love them. I love both teams so much. This is a win-win all around to me. I mean, well, for me. I mean, I don't have a title on the line, but for me, to watch this match is going to be a win-win.
Yeah, this is absolutely a win-win. I totally agree. And I know people don't want to get into the comp, but we got to call a spade a spade. We call it down the middle. We've wanted this match. Dare I say, this is a still here for caliber match. Oh, yeah. This is an anniversary kind of match right here. And if we think about it, every time these two teams have battled, there's always been something weird that happened. The first time they battled, where it looked like it was going to be a full title match, then there was interference that ended up causing their manager, the manager of All-Star Special, and it caused it to be a count out. Then you had the match that was supposed to happen that turned suddenly into a triple threat tag match for the tag titles, right? And then the last time they were quite frankly, they weren't even supposed to fight the last time. It was supposed to be another team. The tag champs came in and subbed in. And so it was so finally, it looks like we're going to get these two teams battling on a level playing ground. This time, All-Star Special are your tag champs. You could make the argument that without question, the most dominant team in SHW over the last year and a half, 2 years is Tech X. I don't think anybody will argue that point. So these two teams battling, finally, this will be wonderful. If you're trying to figure out what you need to do to get there, we've already given you 3 amazing matches that should cause you to get in the door because they're each alone worth the price of admission. I think we've got another match of the year candidate on our hands with this tag title match here.
Whew, I can't wait.
Yeah. And All-Star Special's in the best shape they've ever been in.
Yeah.
That first match that they had, we were wondering, okay, how are they going to match up with Tech X? And we saw a side of them that we've never seen before. When I went back and watched SHW39, there were some moves that Hanson was pulling off where I was like, sir, where'd you get that from?
And we talked about that when we did the recap episode after 39. And I believe somebody even said that to him on social media, and he came back with, I could always do it. It's just a matter of knowing when to pull it out. And
right.
And that's smart. You don't want to show everything you've got.
Yeah, he pulled it out when it mattered most. Yeah.
So that makes you wonder, what will they pull out next week that's been hiding in the arsenal? I'm intrigued to find out.
I mean, Huck surprises me all the time, and he's a veteran. He's been doing this for a long time, longer than I can even imagine. And he's always doing something I've never seen him do before. And I'm for it.
I'm here for it.
When you see a guy like Huck get up there on the ropes doing a moonsault, it blows my mind every time. But
when he did that moonsault off of the ring post.
Yeah. But he makes it look effortless.
Exactly.
Crazy. Well, those are two teams that, of course, have faced each other before. Finally going to have this big rematch. On that same token, here's a couple of guys that have faced each other a couple of times already, and the feud has been kind of building over the last few months. I'm talking about Carly Bravo, Jordan Kingsley. Bravo now full-time roster member. He's earned his way in. He's no longer just a fill-in, just a replacement. He claims he's going to make it the Carly Bravo show. You got Jordan Kingsley's undefeated in 2022. He's an SHW original. I'll spit it out here eventually. But I'm excited about this big matchup here. This feud's been kind of ongoing, whether it's been one guy interfering in the other guy's match or vice versa, whatever it is. Now we're going to get one-on-one once again and maybe finally prove once for all who the better man is here.
That's going to be tough.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough to figure out who's the better man. Jordan Kingsley is doing amazing this year. Undefeated, as you guys said. And, I mean, he's on the brink. You know what I'm saying? He's right there. He just needs that. He needs this win. He needs this win. And Carly, I'm getting this little hint of a little crazy, just a little bit of crazy. Maybe in his eyes when he gets a little, he just doesn't come out. He's in a whole different mindset. And it's like he doesn't know when to quit. I mean, Sean Dean was trying to take the bat from him, was he not? He was going after the Savior with the bat for no reason at all. But he had this look at him.
I kind of understand why, because there was a long time where David went after everybody else with that very same bat.
That was David. David's David. It wasn't like he was just, he had a lizard tongue, but it was David. Okay, I mean, he had, the spirit of a gecko or whatever it was. But Carly just has this look about him that he's tuning into the psycho side of himself, and that could be dangerous and destructive.
Well, Diana, you call him crazy. I call him confident. I think that's exactly what we're seeing from Carly Bravo. Carly Bravo has always been both confident and convinced, not crazy. He is convinced that he is the next big thing in not just SHW, but in all of pro wrestling. Here's what's so interesting about this match. Because when it happened 4 or 5 months ago, you're right, Carly came in kind of as a last-minute replacement. Obviously, he did not have the kind of time to prepare for Jordan Kingsley, but it's not just the preparation piece. It is now the confidence that he has that he has defeated the longest reigning SHW champion in history in David Ali.
Right.
To defeat David Ali in that environment last month. That was the biggest pro David Ali environment we've ever had.
Yeah.
And so to beat him when all the chips were against him, he's got to feel like he's on top of the world. So this now is really, in the words of the great Gorilla Monsoon, the irresistible force meeting the immovable object. You've got this year's undefeated, Jordan Kingsley against a red-hot Carly Bravo. This isn't the same Carly Bravo he fought a few months ago. So I think this is going to be a match to watch. And I will say this, whoever wins this match, you can probably put an asterisk by their name and shoot them to the top with a bullet, because they're somebody who we might be seeing in the title picture sooner than later.
Yeah, very good point.
Agreed.
Very, very good
I still
point.
think he's crazy though.
Hey, some people know karate, some people know crazy.
How about that?
I don't know.
He's crazy. That's it.
All right, here's another huge match, and by huge, I mean that both figuratively and literally. Guys that were in the title match last month. The match that started out as a triple threat ended up becoming a fatal four-way. We'll get to that later. But two of the men that were in that match ended up fighting out of the ring, fighting through the curtain, making their way to the back. Who knows where they ended up? I said this a couple shows ago. I don't know if anybody checked the Cherokee County police reports, if they were found downtown still brawling. Who knows? But I'm talking about Cyrus the Destroyer, the Priest of Punishment Judas, finally going to get together one-on-one in singles competition in an SHW ring. This match is months and months and months in the making. It might have been towards the end of last year when it was originally supposed to happen, if I'm not mistaken.
You're
and
right.
For whatever reason, certain things came up, and 1 month one guy was there, 1 month the other guy was there, and then finally last month they were in the same ring at the same time. But this month we're going to get a one-on-one Two big bulls finally going to lock horns. I cannot wait to see what happens. I hope that this ring is reinforced for this match.
When you were saying that, I was getting the visual of, like, you remember the Hulk movie when he came in and was fighting the big guy who took all the enhancers and turned into this crazy, and they were just tearing up the city. That's
Yeah.
kind of what I was seeing. It's like,
Yeah.
They were doing that in downtown Canton.
Right, just tearing up everything.
Yeah.
All the little country stuff and all that,
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we couldn't do it in Dublin because there's nothing here to tear up. A couple bridges. But those guys are destined to collide, and it is going to be magnificent when they finally do. And I don't think the ring's going to hold them. The building may not. We may have to take it back out to the parking lot. Park in the back, guys. Park in the back.
All right. Yeah, because the last time I left my car up front when there was a dog collar match, I had no idea that Joe Black would be dropping Huckabee through my windshield. But
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
by the way,
insurance
doesn't cover that, by the way.
Jeez, you had to get a new ride. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
I found
sure
out.
did.
Yeah.
I found out the hard way. But anyways,
Well said.
You know, they say timing is everything, and we've been wanting this match for probably the last 6 to 7 months or so. But now is crazy considering after their interactions with the SHW championship, all of these things. Now, it seems as though they were the singular focus for each other. They've been laser focused. They finally had a chance to get a taste, and now they want it one-on-one. You're right. I hope the ring is reinforced. I hope there's plenty of security. I don't know what they're going to need to do to get this match to stay in the ring. I have no idea. But, the other piece that I haven't thought about, and I don't know, I have not even attempted to get into the mind of Brooklyn, nor would I. But could she change this on the fly? Could this turn into some other kind of match? I don't know. What I do know is protect your kids, hide your wife, because this is going to be a wild one. I promise you. I probably should have said that while you were drinking water.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Yeah. So needless to say, it's going to be a great match. You do not want to miss this. I'm pumped for this one. Absolutely.
Yeah. I would say throw the cage up. I don't think the cage would hold him either.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to need for this one. Like, I don't know.
There's no telling. There's no telling. But another match that I'm very excited for, and I didn't even have this on my radar until I saw the graphic for it, the match poster. And part of me thinks that Brooklyn made this match in order to punish Dylan. But at the same time, I have a feeling Dylan kind of wants this match to get a little bit of revenge for what happened last month. Now, I'm talking about Joe Black, the Black Cloud, will be going one-on-one with Dylan James. This is a match that Brooklyn made shortly after last month's show. And now that I see it on paper, I'm like, I can't wait to see this match. Now most guys getting in the ring with Joe Black, like I said, it's kind of a punishment. Like, you're in trouble now. The whole crowd starts chanting, Joe's gonna kill you. And you get all like, that's the aura of those kind of matches. But Dylan, he's got a lot to be upset about after what happened last month. And a big reason he ended up losing that match, in my opinion, I won't say the sole reason. I said that before, and Diana corrected me. There were other things that came into play. But a big part of that, Joe Black coming into the last minute. Dylan was this close to winning the match. Joe Black comes in, interferes on behalf of Cruel. Cruel wins the match. Dylan loses his job. Brooklyn takes over. And here we are. But what a match this will be. Dylan James, Joe Black, SHW40.
As far as revenge or, getting a couple of licks in, I don't feel like the end revenge is going to be a win for Dylan James. I don't think Brooklyn's going to let that happen, regardless. But as far as, kind of making himself feel a little better about what Joe did to help him lose his position as Booker, fighting, just brawl. That's all I'm looking for, is just a big old brawl. And whatever happens at the end that causes the bell to ring, that's what we all expect to happen either way, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
And,
I,
and,
I
go ahead.
go ahead.
What? No, I was saying. Now that you mentioned that, I'm thinking back to think about what happened last month. Joe came in to help Cruel. Of course, we saw how the show ended with Contra revealing themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So if
Mm-hmm.
Joe's getting in and helping Cruel in his match, who's to say Cruel's not going to get in and help Joe in this match
And
against
who's to
Dylan?
say Contra don't have other people waiting?
Great
I
is
mean,
that part.
I don't count anything out when it comes to this. So
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, the beautiful thing about the world of pro wrestling is it is legalized violence. It is the one
Right.
space where if you have an ought against somebody, you don't have to talk it out. You don't have to sit in a therapy session. You can get in the ring and throw those hands. And so I'm just thinking, you know, the idea of owning your own company and now you have to become an employee in the company you once owned, and the
Mhm.
company is now owned by your arch nemesis. That can never be a good thing. Dylan obviously is coming in for a fight. Again, we talk about timing being everything. That whole thing you were talking about the fans chanting, Joe's going to kill you. It's so weird going back watching SHW39 because it was like he had one of his best fan responses ever,
Yeah.
only to completely crap on them by the end of the night. I don't know that we're going to have a lot of fans chanting for Joe Black. Here's the other. Well, I mean, I think fans loved SHW under the control of Dylan. I think fans aren't sure of what this new SHW is going to look like with Brooklyn in control. We don't know what kinds of things might be up her sleeve. Here's the other thing, though, and I don't want to discount the current wrestler of the year. Joe Black doesn't need any of that help.
Right.
He doesn't need Contra. He doesn't need Cruel. He doesn't need Brooklyn. So he must be connected with them for a reason. There is something that he wants that he hasn't been currently getting. Could that something be found in SHW? Is it something bigger than SHW? And he's using what's happening in SHW to catapult him. I don't know, but I do know this. Joe Black absolutely wants a win in this match. He wants a win because it's another notch for Contra. And the one thing this would be the worst thing for Brooklyn, to have Contra somehow lose during her first official show.
Exactly.
So Joe Black's going to do anything he can, and she might do anything he can. Here's the other thing, though. Dylan had a whole lot of friends show up last month, and none of us expected that. Will any of his friends potentially come to try to offset this? And what, if any, is his plan to try to get his company back? I can't imagine that he's sitting around with no plan. He's got one of the best minds in the world. Don't know.
He's got 5 weeks to think on it.
Don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Mm.
It's going to be interesting. Well, you mentioned Brooklyn, you know, this being her first show in the new position. I do know that we saw a graphic posted about Gary coming out to address the crowd and address the future of the company.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows what that's going to be about, or if she's going to be out there with him, if he's addressing her face to face. We don't really know. We'll see what happens next week. But we do know, and here's the thing. We've got one more match to talk about. And when we did the recap show right after SHW39, that match had already been announced to close out the last show. And we did a lot of talking about that match already then. So I really don't have any more to say about the match other than, Zach, stay home, please.
If he's wiping his face, he's getting ready.
It's for your own good. Just stay home. And it's not because I don't believe in you, but it's because it's for your own safety. They're not trying to just give you a, hey, you know what? This guy's always wanted a wrestling match. Let's give him a wrestling match. No, these people are violent. They're crazy. They want to hurt you, and they're going to pick the most innocent person they could find to break in half, and who knows what else. So just please, Zach's parents, please just go on vacation. Take Zach with you. Do something. And the fans, the SHW fans, we love the SHW faithful, but a lot of you are not helping the situation because all you're doing is pumping up the ego and giving these false ideas that Zach can actually win this thing. Let's be realistic. He's going to get hurt. I don't want to see him get hurt. I would rather he just stay home or go on vacation. Just don't come to the action building next Friday. That's all I'm going to say. If you have anything left, go ahead, but I'm leaving it at that.
Zach will be there. How dare you think he won't be there? Zach will be in the action building for SHW40 to go for his title match now. I don't know what's going to happen. He's going to be there. I don't see anybody stopping him. I don't see anybody trying to stop him. I've done all I can to try to talk some sense to that kid. He's determined, and God bless his determination.
God bless his determination. So I've wrestled with, do I say anything in this moment or do I not? So here's what I'm going to say. Some of us are parents. Many of you out there are parents. You have children. You have people who you might be parents of by proxy. You're an uncle, you're an auntie, et cetera, et cetera. You do your best to share your experience with them, right? You tell them, hey, I put my finger in the socket and I got electrocuted. You don't have to do that. So stay away from the socket. But people these days, they go, you made your own mistakes. Give me the chance to make my own. All right, Zachary, let me help you. And let me just say this. I know I'm going to get in trouble for this, but I don't care. Okay? Because after next Friday, Zach is not going to be able to beat me up anyway. He can't beat me up now. But here's the deal. Zach is going on all these people's posts, and, he's trying to build this, great army, Zach Attack or whatever he's calling himself. I hear he's got new gear coming out. Like, he's doing all of this stuff to live his dream. There was a guy a few months ago who tried to live his dream. He talked to somebody and said, all I want is a match at SHW. His name is Nathan Mowry. And Nathan got himself tricked up, by this guy called Reverend Dan. And Reverend Dan is like, yeah, all you have to do is do this and I'll get you a match on the card. He gets split wide open and lit on fire. Zachary, you don't have to take my advice. You won't, because you don't listen to somebody like me, right? You don't. That's fine. But don't ask me to buy your shirt to pay your hospital bills. Don't ask me to do it. All right? Matter of fact, you probably might need to set up the GoFundMe for him now, because he's going to need it. And so, Zachary, God bless you for all the people who have hyped him up. His blood is going to be on your hands. Gary Lamb, Zachary Law's blood is going to be on your hands because you told the world, hey, he's out here. He's promoting himself. Promote yourself. I wish you would train as much as you posted, young man. If you did, I'm not even going to say those words, because if I have to announce those words, nah, not going to do that. I'm just going to say this, Zach, beef up your insurance plan, young man. And do gear guys go to heaven?
All gear guys go to heaven, and then
all gear guys go to heaven.
There was a cartoon I saw when I was growing up. It was one called All Gear Guys Go to Heaven.
Do we have an alternate gear guy somewhere? Because we're gonna need him for July.
I even said the last time we talked about this, I said, look, I'll pull double duty and I'll grab the gear and do commentary, just so Zach won't show up.
You know what? I think we've got some friends that can find Zachary a place for next Friday. So that Zach, please.
Now, I'm not saying I would do the gear guy as well as he does the gear guy, but I'm just saying I can.
You know why you wouldn't be as good as he is? Because you'd be invisible. That's why.
I would try to be, because I don't
like
want
most
to be,
gear guys,
I don't want to be involved in a match. I don't want to be involved.
I don't either.
Yeah. I mean, we get enough action over at the table as it is, and that's
usually people now. Maybe I'm wrong, because I don't follow the brother. I don't know. Is he like posting training videos. Like, who's training him for this match, right? Like, you're fighting for the #1 title in independent wrestling. Surely you're training. I mean, you don't think you're just, what are you going to do? Throw some gear at him? And
if he is, maybe he's not posting the videos because he doesn't want to give away his secrets. I don't know, because I haven't seen any.
I have it on good authority. Hold on. Wait, hold on. Is that? No. Okay. No. Wow. Okay. So I do have on good authority that apparently Zach's training involves a slingshot and 5 stones.
Hey,
That's what I've heard.
worked for the last guy.
It worked for the last guy who tried it. Maybe it'll work for him.
He only took 1 stone.
He only took 1 stone. He's only going to get 1 shot. So
and by the way, we all have seen the constant promotion, if that's what you want to call it, but the constant,
that's a good name for it. Promotion.
Trash talk. Talking a little too big for his britches. But the thing is, I've been seeing Brooklyn going back and forth in the comments with him. And I think all he's doing is making her more angry. And the next thing you know, this is going to turn into a TLC match or something crazy.
See, this is why he should be very concerned. Because we watched her take the last match, turn it from a triple threat to a fatal 4-way. Just on a whim.
Yeah.
So how do we know this doesn't turn into a 3-on-1 handicap match? And he's the one, right? How do we know that all of Contra doesn't show up? How do we know this doesn't turn into an ambulance match, right? A coffin match, a gear guy on a pole match? I don't know. I'm just saying, you don't know what she's going to do. And before, let me just say, I know it's going to happen already, but before you load up my Twitter and load up my Instagram, save your tweets. Take that finger power and push some iron and work on your stones, buddy. You're gonna need them. You're gonna need them.
And here's the thing. I said it when I first made my comments about this. This is not out of any ill will towards you, Zach. This is for your safety. For your safety.
If I didn't like you, kid, I'd say go on in there.
Right.
Go on in there. I'm trying to protect you. Yeah. But folks don't look at protection the same way they used to. So go ahead, son.
I tried to protect him in that one incident. He flat told me, Diana, I don't need you to protect me.
Oh, yeah?
I don't need you to. So I backed off, and I have backed off since, and I have not stood between him and danger. I have ran my little behind, or big behind, my behind
I'm not doing this
away
with you.
from danger.
I'm not doing this with you.
But nope. I have not put my being between him and danger. So if he wants it, let him pass.
Well, look.
Grab it by the reins, buddy. Ride it like a bull is all I got to say is hold on for dear life.
Let's wrap it up.
Should we take a wager on how quick this match will be?
I am not betting a dime.
I'm not a gambling man, but it'll be quick. I'll put it that way. And look, let's just wrap it on that because there's nothing more we can say that's going to convince him one way or the other. So whatever happens at this point. But I do want all the fans to show up, show out next Friday, SHW40.
Early. We have the pre-show.
That's right. We got a pre-show.
I'm going you for a little while that one because I'm going to have to get away from that table. I already know.
Oh, yes. Come on. Come on. There is room at the table for you.
Room for you.
Absolutely.
There's room.
Come join us. Come join us. Well, come and watch us on the pre-show. It'll be live from 7 to 7:30 right here on the Facebook page. And we can't wait to see you next week. It's going to be awesome. SHW40. Well, I say it's going to be awesome. Some of it might be tragic. I don't know. Hopefully, all of it will end up being awesome.
It'll be something you don't want to miss regardless.
Yeah.
That part.
Yeah.
It's the train wreck you don't want to miss.
If you can't look away from it, tell all your friends about it.
By the way, real quick plugs, ProWrestlingTees.com/SHWPod. Grab the SHW podcast merch. And also,
boom, right there, the new shirt, ProWrestlingTees.com/Bonnerfied. Bet on you. The funny part is Zach already is like, after you say that, how can you? So watch this, Zach.
He's going all in.
Buy your shirt. You'll need it. Yes, sir.
He's taking it to heart, boo-boo.
Listen, I'm not mad, but just don't blame me.
Yeah. Don't blame me. But hey, we will see you next week. We can't wait. But until then, this has been
SHW.
This is our wrestling.
I tried to do this last week. Did you see me?
Yeah.